They did it, y'all. They actually did it. They turned Michael Myers into John fucking Wick. Let's get into it. What's going on, YouTube? I'm Deontay, and this is Awful. Before we get into it, I'd like to ask anyone at any point in time, if you do find yourself liking this video, go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, look, y'all know the routine. Y'all been on YouTube for more than that. Y'all know what the buttons do. Just go ahead and hit them, all right? Let's just get straight into the movie because I'm ready to play some Demon Slayer. All right, so look, Halloween Kills is streaming on Peacock, and you can go see it in movie theaters. I wanted to see it in theaters, which what I said in my last trailer breakdown. However, none of the theaters in my area were offering it in Dolby Cinema. They were all just offering it like on regular, on standard screen. And I'm like, I'm not paying to go see something on standard. I can just watch it on my, my TV or whatever. So that was a little disappointing, which I would have loved to see this movie in Dolby theaters, but I did watch it at home on Peacock. And to be honest, before we get into the details of the review, it was really a streaming movie. To be honest, it was streaming worthy. It's not box office worthy. No offense. The reason being because the plot is just not that enjoyable. I don't want to say it's like it didn't make any sense, but it didn't really make too much sense. It didn't flow well, is basically what I'm trying to say, because I felt like they were going with kind of like the Halloween 4 vibes. Remember when the police force was killed? All of them was killed, and Dr. Loomis told all of the townsfolk they were gearing up with the guns and the rifles and everything, and Dr. Loomis told them Michael Myers is here, and they remembered what happened the last time, and they were ready to go to war, and the sheriff was like, Dr. Loomis, what are you doing? And he was like, get your fucking hands off me. You ain't got no police force left. They all you got. Ted Hollister, you said you saw Michael, stupid ass, or something like that. Y'all saw the movie. So they went that way, and only thing that was enjoyable about this movie, honestly, was Michael, and the fact that they went and they went back and they filled in the gaps of what happened after the first movie, which I thought was nice because the way it was shot in such a weird, I don't say weird, but in a different way. The way like for example, when Hawkins shot the other cop, and then Michael just he took off in this motion to where he was almost like he seemed supernatural. Even when he came out and grabbed them, it was like he had super speed. And then he was walking down, the way they shot that movie, it was very, very interesting, and I loved it. The mask looked very original to the first movie. It was spot on. James Drew Courtney as Michael was literally the center of attention. Laurie, I wasn't really a fan of her character. Maybe it was supposed to be that way, what I'm saying? Not in the whole series, but just for this movie. She was, angry and loud, and, she was a little too much for me. And maybe that's because she was a victim, and that was, maybe the way she was supposed to be written, but I really didn't enjoy her. But let's just kind of I'm gonna just go back over the movie. So we open up with Cameron, and we see that Hawkins was still alive. And don't think that, I know the way movies are shot, people are, they have this mindset that, oh, this much time has passed, how is this person still alive? These events could have happened immediately after each other. He could have been stabbed, and then Cameron walked up on him right away. We don't know the time placing of when these events happen, so I don't think he's just been sitting there the whole night. He could have, but more likely with a neck injury like that, you don't really have that much time. So, and he was still talking. So I actually thought he was dead, and I'm glad that he didn't die, because I liked Hawkins in 2018. And just by the way, 2018 is probably a better movie. Halloween 2018 is a better movie than this one. But Michael was really the star of this movie, and I think Laurie was the star of the last one. And then maybe in Halloween Ends, they'll kind of collab, that they'll share that stardom. But I'm glad they brought Hawkins back. Cameron is still in his skirt. That's how I know it hasn't been that long, because he still has his Halloween party outfit on. He calls his dad, let him know he's in trouble, right? So while Hawkins is, presumably taking probably his last breath, but he tells him he has to die, and he's like, who? And we get a flashback. This is the flashback to the night of 1978. We see Lonnie as a kid and a couple of more kids. I forgot their names, but they were nobody. But what I wanted to take from there is the scene where Lonnie falls, and then he turns around and Michael's right there. Like, James Jude Courtney really understood the assignment more than anybody in this movie. James Jude Courtney knew what the fuck to do, and he fucking did it. I fucking love it. We see Michael goes back home. They even put in the little tidbit about the dog.
How do you know? This is starting to spook me, Doc.
At least I'm not alone.
They're killing. They could have left that out, but they're just killing it at this point. And we see, now here's where it kind of gets kind of like, is when he steps in the same spot Michael was with the boots on. And then, like, I don't understand the significance of standing in that spot, but they probably explained it. But again, I was so not interested in literally anything else in this movie other than Michael, because I didn't care. I did not care. So the officer stands in the same spot as Michael. He sees the boot prints, and I don't know why he didn't, like, oh shit, there's fresh boot prints here. Maybe I should look. Michael just comes out of nowhere, it was so good. Then Hawkins accidentally shoots his partner in the neck. Like, what? Shoots his partner in the neck, and then again, Michael just takes off again. Michael doesn't give a fuck. And I felt like certain parts of this movie weren't the characteristics of the Michael that we've seen, and it's because I have a hard time letting go of all of the other sequels that actually don't exist in this timeline. So that was a little, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, and I'll talk about it later, but it was just like, would Michael really do that? It kind of felt like he gave himself up. Dr. Loomis is out there yelling and, they evil, that's cop. Like, I think whoever that was, he got the look down. He got the yelling down, because that's all Loomis did in these movies is yell.
6 bodies. Sheriff, that's what I've seen between here and Richmond. A filling station in flames. I tell you, Michael Myers is here in this town.
So he got that down. That was perfect. And then we find out later that they were actually going to execute that man right then and there, which is, kind of odd, seeing how when we think about the Halloween 1 and 2, since it was, it was in one night, right? It was way more bodies. He did way more destruction. At that point in time, it was only 3 bodies. And I'm not even going to count that officer because Hawkins killed him. So it was only 3 bodies. They were acting like, I understand 3 bodies is a lot, but okay, so now here's when we get how Michael actually escaped the fire, which I don't know why I didn't think about that. He actually just hid in the gun safe that Laurie had in the basement, and there's firefighters there, and this is when they turn Michael Myers into John Wick. I don't think I've ever seen a I don't know. I could be wrong. I've seen a lot of slasher movies, but I can't think of a slasher movie where it's like, it was like a Jackie Chan movie. Like, here's the bad guys, and not the firefighters are bad guys, but it's like, here's the bad guys, here is the one person, and he finna kick all their asses. It was 9 firefighters out there, and Michael is just moving and grooving and sticking and lifting and like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on right now? Like, Michael was just Like, I'm talking about ducking and weaving and shit. Like,
Could have went pro. Drop bombs on them. Drop bombs on them. What? Here, slip, move, slide.
it was 11 in total. Cause they later tell us. And look, I'm gonna try to count these kills for y'all. You know, at the end of the movie. I ain't James A. Janice, so you should definitely wait for the kill count to get an accurate number. But it was so many bodies that I feel like I need to count these bodies. Did y'all see that guy with the water hose trying to spray Michael with water? What the fuck are you doing, bruh? Get out of there! Run!
Run, bitch! Run!
When you seen him come out of that house like that, it's Michael Myers. Michael John Wick Myers. What the fuck are you doing? All right, so next we got Phil and Sandra, and we hear that they can see Laura's house from their house, meaning they're close. So it only makes sense that Michael would go there next, and he's hiding in the look. Sandra's flying a drone, and she crashes it and feels like, give me that shit, let me show you how it's done. Michael breaks that shit and like throws it at them, and they're like, hey, somebody in there? Phil goes in the bathroom, and Michael's in there just standing there. He knocks the lights out, and Phil's like, I don't want no parts of this. Closed the door, locked it. It was like, hey, there's somebody in the bathroom, let's get the fuck up out of here. Sandra like, what do you want? Phil's like, I don't give a fuck, let's go.
Run, bitch! Run!
And like the way that he killed them, I ain't never seen Michael behave in this manner. Like, what is going on? I mean, I get the initial kill, but he drug Phil back to the kitchen and then proceeded to just yak him. And I'm amazed that Mike, he took the light fixture out, broke it, shoved it in her neck, and then when he dropped it, it broke. Cause you know those light bulbs are very like frail. How did he get it through her neck without breaking? But he just dropped it and it broke. Beyond me. But that scene reminded me of Halloween 2 when he had just gotten shot by Dr. Loomis, and he walked into the house with the old lady and old man. She was making him a sandwich. She reached back for the knife that was there, and it was just blood, and she screamed, out loud. So I feel like they're giving us things from these other movies that don't exist in this universe, kind of like fan service, and I'm okay with that. All right, so after that, we go back to the bar with these boring people, and let me just say, while their intentions were good, I think their intentions were good, this whole bringing, 40 years later survivors, it ain't working for me at all. I don't know if it's the actors or the way it was written, but like it's just not working for me. So there's a extra person that Michael didn't kill, on the bus, because remember he was being transported on a bus with the other inmates from Smith Grove, and there was one survivor, two now, Michael and this other guy. He's actually the one in the back of the car, but they think it's Michael. And then Tommy Dole's like, he's macho, he's about to go get a bat. Like, the reason why it pisses me off, because like, bruh, Dr. Loomis shot this man.
I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga.
Lori tried to burn this man to the ground. What the fuck are you gonna do with this bat? Tell me. It's a bat. He survived the fire. Gunshots. What are you gonna do? So that's why I'm like not into this shit here. Alright? It's not Michael. And then we go back to Cameron, and now the police are there to get Hawkins, and then right on time, right on schedule, the black sheriff, or whatever his position is, who's literally done nothing these 2 movies but be one step behind and bring people bad news. As I said in my trailer breakdown, and guess what? He did nothing in this movie but be one step behind and bring people bad news. That's all he did. All right, after that, we meet Little John and Big John, and as soon as I seen Little John, you all may remember him from Mad TV. But what first came to my mind is Leprechaun 2, when he was the coffee barista guy, and he was like making fun of leprechauns. One should never try to take a leprechaun's gold.
One should never try to take a leprechaun's gold.
You're really into this, aren't you?
One should never try to take a leprechaun's gold.
Spot on impression, by the way. So that's where I remember him from, but you guys may remember him from Mad TV. And Big John, he seemed familiar, but I checked his IMDb page, and the only movie that I recognize him from was, or that I've seen that he's been in, was El Camino, Breaking Bad story. So maybe I only seen that movie once, but his face looked very familiar. So the kids playing a prank on him, saying that they ate some chocolate and yada yada, and that was pretty good. But Michael actually, comes inside of the house because it's the Myers house, and Big John is like, "Don't worry, I got it." And he picks up this little bitty knife and is like, "All right, bro, you already know what's gonna happen to him. Michael gonna fuck him up, easily." So that's what happened. Michael fucks him up, and I'm like, bro, pushes his eyes in, and his eyes pop out. It's just like gut and ass and eyes everywhere.
Whoo, Matt boy's bad. I seen him rip somebody's guts out through their ass, and the eyes fell out.
And Little John, I don't know what he was thinking about when he seen Michael. He should have just took off. I don't know what he was doing. And again, Michael gets there and he's just standing in the window. I don't understand the significance of that. All right, so now we're back at the hospital, and Laurie's daughter is just the worst. I didn't like her in 2018 until she shot him in the neck. Like, up until that point, she was insufferable, and then she was right back to her old self in this movie. Cameron comes, and they're now trying to form like some, where they're forming the town people go against Michael, which, like, come on, like, who in there, right? This is Squid Game all over again, right? Like, bro, get on the plane. I'm never gonna let that go, by the way. Get on the plane, go see your daughter. You literally, I'm talking about Laurie's granddaughter right now. You literally just went face to face with this man, and y'all barely survived. Your dad is dead. I get you're upset, but do you really think that you stand a chance? Cameron leaves, and her mom's like, "Take your ass in there with your grandmother," and Michael's on his way here, and all this other shit that they don't know, and I don't know. I guess, and then the guy comes and tells them that Michael's still alive and all this other shit. So that happened there, right? Now, moving on. So now we got Tommy Doyle like organizing his little, what do you want to call it, lynch mob. And he's telling people where to go and all this other shit. And then we get Miriam, the doctor, the nurse, and what's her name, Lindsay. They're driving and they notice some kids on the park swing, which are those kids from earlier that played the prank, and they're like, "Oh, we're cool. We got candy and there's a creepy man," and it's Michael with the mask of one of the kids he's killed. And then this is when like Michael is like ascending to John Wick, Jason Bourne, like he's on top of cars, and you know what I'm saying, like he killed Miriam in the way that she was about to die in the first movie. Like, she head up against the mirror, she's backing up, and Michael just comes in and just yak it. All right, and then the guy in the background watching it, he ain't moving, he shook. I'd have been trying to get the fuck up out of there, but he shook, and then he take off his stethoscope, which I guess that was the whole point. Like, they tried to make that a point for him to go back into the bar and get it earlier in the movie. So he takes his stethoscope, he's trying to choke Michael, and Michael's like, "Bruh, stop playing with me." Like, his eye shot blood out, and then the nurse, who actually had a chance to get away, again, this is why I just don't like this movie. Even though she had a gun, why would you come back?
Run, bitch! Run!
Michael has ascended. Let me tell y'all right now, Michael has ascended. Jason cannot fuck with Michael. Freddy cannot fuck with... Nobody is fucking with Michael at this point. Because at this point, she's shooting at Michael, and then Michael kicks the door. The door hits the gun turns on her, and she shoots herself. If that ain't John Wick, tell me what is. John Wick confirmed. Michael and John Wick crossover confirmed. Hey, that shit though, that shit was nice. Like, when I saw it, the first thing I said was, and I quote, "No fucking way." No fucking way. Like, yo. Dog, come on, bro. He kicked the door. The door hit the gun, and the gun, like, all right, come on. Moving on. All right, so Lindsay is the only one that survives the whole car fiasco. And we jump back to the hospital. And now the hospital has just gone fucking bonkers. Everybody, Tommy Doyle done brought his stupid ass to the hospital. Look, Tommy Doyle done brought his stupid ass in the hospital, causing up trouble wherever he goes. Now he got the hospital in a frenzy. Lori just found out that Michael is alive. Now she's trying to get her shit on, knowing she can barely stand up. Hawkins is alive, telling people that it's his fault because they were actually going to shoot Michael on the spot, and he stopped them. There's police corruption. He switches guns with another officer. All this shit is going down. They brought Sheriff Brackett. He's security at the hospital. It's good to see Sheriff Brackett back. The black guy is like, "You ain't the law, I'm the law." And it's like, bro, no, you're not. You don't got control of the situation. Everything is just going bonkers. Oscar, the one who got his, the kid who was drunk or whatever, Cameron's friend, his mom was there looking for him. Everything is just going crazy. The second mental patient from Smith, he shows up. They all think it's him. Tommy is leading this lynch mob against this man. This man ain't done nothing to them. He probably did kill somebody, but he's clearly not, mentally stable or whatever. He jumps out the window, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? What is that? What are they doing? So basically, it was going, again, like I said, back to the fourth movie where they actually killed the wrong person.
Shit, Earl. It's Ted Hollister.
You dumb son of a bitch. You said you saw Myers.
Like, misdirection. So that's why I said none of this shit in the hospital is interesting. It's really dragging the movie down. Like, just dragging it the fuck down. Moving on. We're in the final act of the movie. Cameron, Allison, and Lonnie, Cameron's dad, are all going to the Myers house because they figured out that his whole thing has been for him to go home. Right? And I don't know why they went home. Like, again, just why. I mean, I guess, I get people make dumb decisions in horror movies, but this has probably got to be the dumbest. You got your son, his ex-girlfriend, maybe still girlfriend, I don't know, and you are going after Michael Myers by yourself. Come on, man. That's top one of dumbest decisions made in a horror movie in ever. So they get in there, and predictably, Michael fucks up Lonnie, stuffed them in, the little attic doors. And so Allison and Cameron, they take their ass inside. She got the shotty. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he got his gun, and this kind of reminds me of Brett. What was his name? Brett? What the fuck was his name? I think his name was Brett. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I don't think Brady. I was close. Brady, when Brady was going with Michael, and then he did the shotgun, but it missed. At first he couldn't get his load, and then by the time he got the load, when he shot it, it kind of shot up, which is the same thing with Cameron. It shot to the side of Michael, and Michael was just coming out of nowhere, like these blitz attacks. That's what I've been, these blitz attacks, and I fucking love it. Please, in Halloween Kills, all blitz attacks. I'm fine with that. So, blitz Cameron, and he's fucking Cameron up, right? Fucking Cameron all the way up. He done threw Allison down. She looked like she's twisted her leg the other way, right? And here's what I say he looks like he's being petty. Because she's telling him, come to me. And it looks like he's looking at her while fucking up Cameron, saying, yeah, bitch, you want to talk shit? Yes, I'm fucking him up. And then he's still alive. Cameron's like hanging over the edge and shit. And he's still breathing. And Michael's coming down to say, all right, your turn. But before he gets down there, he's like, hold on. like this, like it was real petty of Michael. That was petty Mike right there. I'm sorry. That was petty Mike. That man was going to die on his own. You could have left him there. So goes down there. He's getting ready to fuck Alice up. And she's like, do it. We think that she's saying stab him. But she's talking to her mom. Her mom comes with a pitchfork. And she thinks he's dead or whatever, and obviously he's not. Comes back up, she takes his mask off, and she's like, all right, you want it, come get me. Which you can clearly see it's a trap. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a trap. This is it for Michael. You know what I'm saying? This is it. They get there, and he's surrounded by all these people. Again, this is when Michael turns into fucking John Wick, Jason Bourne, fucking the Equalizer. Kill Michael Volume 2. The Last Dragon, Bruce Lee Roy. Like, they beating the shit out of Michael while Laurie's giving some montage. Again, she just talking at this point. I don't give a fuck what she's saying, because if you want to be honest, I'm actually like, no, don't hurt Michael. I'm like, no, don't hurt him. You're going to kill him. Stop. Sheriff Brackett, after they beat the shit out of Michael, you know, unjustifiably, if you ask me, Sheriff Brackett is finna go over there and get his lick back. Like, you kill my daughter, I'm finna kill you. And then that's when Michael is like, surprise, bitch. Takes a knife out, slices his throat, and then proceeds to fuck everybody else up in the most John Wick. He cuts somebody's Achilles, like, give me that. Stuck somewhere right here, and just, like, and then when it comes to Tommy Doyle, he stabbed Tommy Doyle, and then took the bat and beat the shit out. I'm like, yeah, you thought this was gonna beat the shit out of him. Just like that. You know why? Because they were playing. You don't go after Michael. What's wrong with you, boy? You done got all these people killed. Tommy Doyle is the true villain of this movie. And if you want to be honest, Mike might actually be a victim. He was minding his business, and then that doctor put some shit in his head. His doctor took him to Laurie's house. And then ever since then, people just been trying to kill him. You know, I think his whole thing is that he just wanted the bigger room with the view. Because, again, we see him standing in the window. It's like his ghost. And then, I don't know why I can't remember her name. But, and I just don't really care enough about her character to go find out. If you want to be honest, I just don't care. She takes her ass up to the room and stands in the same exact spot. And then Michael comes and just, that kid was so satisfying. I was so ready for her character to be done. So Michael fucks her up. End of the movie, right? I give this movie on its own about a 6. Oh, and then Laurie says something. That's the true curse of Michael Myers. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we get it. All right, we get it. On its own, I give this movie about a 6. Halloween 2018 was definitely better. But Michael in this movie, I'm giving him a fucking 20. Michael and James Jude Courtney, you got it, bro. You got it. All right. All right. So I tallied up all the victims, and I got 39. I got the 11 first responders. I got Little John, Big John. We got I forgot their names already. Chandra and Phil. We got Miriam, the doctor, the nurse, the little kid. I'm not counting. I take that back. I took the nurse off. It would have been 40. I think they would have went with an even 40. But I only gave them 39 because that woman shot herself. I'm not giving that kill to Michael. She shot herself. And then we got who else do we have? I think the rest of the kills were all at the end when Michael, look, Sheriff Brackett was talking shit to him. I just got to talk about this scene one more time. Sheriff Brackett was talking shit to him like, it's Halloween, Michael. Everyone's entitled to one good scare, referring to Halloween H2O when the woman bumped into Jamie Lee Curtis. That's actually her mother.
Well, hey, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Bumped into her and says, y'all know, y'all saw the movie. And then Michael, it was 14 people, and then 5 more pulled up. It was 14 people I counted, I think, and then 5 more pulled up in the truck. And they all surrounded him. And Michael like, All right, y'all want to play? All right, pick this mask up, put that bitch on, like, let's go. It was so good. That was so good. All right, so that was, I gave it 39 kills. It was probably supposed to be even 40 for Halloween 40 years later or whatever, but I got 39. So that's my review of Halloween Kills.